All right, so Kristi Noem has officially been removed from her position as Secretary of Homeland Security. Donald Trump made the announcement on Truth Social, marking her as the first cabinet member to be dismissed during his second term. In her place, he's appointing Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin, with the change set to take effect on March 31st. And in classic Trump style, he tried to soften the blow by giving her a consolation title, Special Envoy for the Shield of the Americas. It's a position nobody had ever heard of before, connected to a program that also didn't exist until the same day she was pushed out. So congratulations on the shield, Kristi. But here's why this moment actually matters. She wasn't suddenly fired out of nowhere. The reason she lost her job ties directly to what you're about to see in this video. Earlier this week, she testified before Congress, and the hearing did not go well for her. She was confronted, exposed, and frankly embarrassed. After that performance, the very president who sent her there reportedly decided she had become too big of a liability to keep in the role. According to NBC News, Trump was calling Republican senators after her testimony asking whether he should remove her. Reports say he was furious. Not about detainees who died in custody, not about children being held in detention, and not about the court orders her department ignored multiple times. What angered him was that she told Congress he personally approved a $220 million advertising campaign that featured her riding a horse near Mount Rushmore. Trump later said that wasn't true. So the thing that ultimately cost her the job wasn't policies that harmed people. It was embarrassing the boss. Think about that for a moment. To understand how this situation started, you need some context. Noem had been insisting that members of Congress give advance notice before visiting detention facilities, almost like lawmakers needed to book a reservation, as if the place were a cheesecake factory. But here's the catch. She was caught moving a 5-year-old child out of one facility 6 days before Congress was scheduled to visit anyway. So regardless of the notice rule, lawmakers would have walked into an empty cage. Because of that, a federal judge has now had to order her department, for the third time, to allow members of Congress to perform their constitutional oversight duties. The idea that the branch of government that writes the laws should be able to monitor the branch that enforces them now apparently requires judicial intervention in 2026. Just 1 day before she was fired, on the 4th of this month, Representative Jasmine Crockett of Texas, a former public defender and now the ranking Democrat on the House Judiciary Oversight Subcommittee, questioned Noem during a congressional hearing, and she methodically dismantled her arguments piece by piece like a mechanic taking apart an engine to see what's broken inside. Crockett challenged her about the 7-day notice requirement for visiting detention centers. She questioned her about a measles outbreak at the Dilley detention facility, which had been reopened under her department, and she brought up the case of a 5-year-old child named Ramos. Liam had been detained and transported roughly 1,300 miles from his home in Minneapolis to Texas. Then, just days before Congress planned to inspect the facility, he was quietly moved out, almost as if someone didn't want lawmakers to see him there. The responses Noem gave during that hearing revealed something important about how the department was operating behind the scenes. So let's take a look at the video from that exchange, and afterward, I'll share my thoughts on what it all means.
Thomas Jefferson enumerated grievances against a would-be authoritarian king over his nascent nation. Among others were, he has sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people. He has excited domestic insurrection among us, for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us. He has kept us among, in times of peace, standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. Are you aware that he wrote that? Do you know that he was writing about ICE that falls under you?
The judge?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. With that, I will yield, but I do have 2 UCs. The first UC is ICE training with slashed records show corroborating whistleblower claims from the Washington Post on yesterday.
Without objection.
The second one is FEMA's response to Texas flood slowed by Noem's cost controls. This is out of CNN from July 10th of 2025.
Without objection.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to close it unless, what do you think? Okay. I would ask unanimous consent to put in the record a document from DHS.gov titled "Illegal Alien with More Than 30 Prior Arrests Fatally Stabs Woman at Virginia Bus Stop. ICE requests Virginia authorities not release this public safety threat." Without objection. Is this a single one or is this multiple?